some documents, drinking some coffee in the man cave classroom. I found this. We have some numbers, not really in our wheelhouse, but then there's a question that goes along with this. So you might see this on a test. So
yeah, you might see it on a test.
So let's just start here before we even get to the question.
Sounds good.
I mean, I'm seeing dates.
All right.
1860 to 1920.
All right, historically speaking, we're post-Civil War. We are industrializing. We are expanding westward. And heck, a whole bunch of immigrants are coming to America.
There's a lot going on when you're looking at this particular time period. Yeah, Civil Wars, you had the Civil War, Industrial Revolution. We're starting to expand more. We have railroads helping that along as well. And if I guess, let's go from A to B. Here we have rural and urban populations in the U.S., 1860 to 1920. We should probably define rural and urban then.
Okay. Rural, farmland, farmers.
Urban cities.
Urban cities.
And it looks like we're having a movement here from one to the other, because I'm looking here, I'm seeing 25 million. It does go up, but over here, what else seems to be going up? The population in the city as well.
Yeah, the students seem to get confused with this, because yes, rural population is doubling in a 60-year time period.
Sure.
But urban population is non-tupling.
Yeah.
Multiplying by 9.
That's one way of putting it.
I don't know if that's a word, but non-tupling sounds good. We're looking at in 1860, roughly 5 out of every 6 people is living on a farm. 1 out of every 6 people is living in a city. And all of a sudden, 60 years later, more people are living in cities than in farms. A vocabulary word comes to mind.
Urbanization.
Urbanization.
That whole movement from rural areas to urban. And I guess we should discuss the why then when it comes to going into cities. Cities, what's there? Lots of opportunities, fun places to go, so we can address that.
Yep.
Let's just get that out of the way.
Yep.
But there are more and more jobs available, factories that are available. You're seeing the urban population going up because if you're looking at either East Coast or West Coast, immigrants are coming in from Europe on the East Coast, they're coming in from Asian countries on the West Coast. And where are you going to settle? Right where you land. And you have a lot of cities, particularly New York, as we're looking over here. And we also see, Philly, Boston. So that population in those cities is going to go up.
And factory owners love hiring immigrants, willing to work for less pay. Not only that, but being a farmer was really unreliable. There's a lot of variables outside of your control. Rain, insects, drought. Yeah, the heat in the summer or cold in the winter. There's too many variables outside of your control that are going to impact, your production. You could work your butt off as a farmer and still not make money.
Right.
Where you went into a city, you went to a factory, you knew if you worked 10 hours every day and you were making $2 an hour, boom, there's your money.
And I mean, especially since we're talking that, these years are starting off right around 1860, 1870, we also have sharecroppers.
Yep.
Probably in the South, who felt that this sharecropping system is not a system that is designed to help me, it's designed to hurt me. Hey, let's go and take a chance and go into the cities. Should we go on to B?
Sure.
Populations of major cities in the U.S., 1860 to 1900. So now we have, unlike this one, we have dates going horizontally.
Mm-hmm.
Now
and then this is just cities.
Yes.
And it's similar now. It's not showing us the exodus from rural areas, but it's showing us the growth.
Yep.
New York City's tripling in size. Philadelphia is tripling in size. Boston is quadrupling in size. Chicago.
Holy jeez.
Chicago goes from the the 6th most populated city to the 2nd city.
Pretty much like a transportation hub during this particular time period, because all roads, or I should say rail lines, kind of met there. You brought up many times that, cattle were brought into Chicago as well. Slaughterhouses in Chicago. While you're thinking of slaughterhouses, you're also thinking you're about 6 years away from, Upton Sinclair's book, The Jungle. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, then that's just touching on a lot of the things that are going on. We have what's making these populations go up. Industrial Revolution, the cities are building up when we're talking about skyscrapers. The Bessemer process, making steel affordable and cheaper, is allowing for that process to happen.
And even the rebuilding of Chicago after the Great Chicago Fire, allowed for this massive population increase.
Right. Even, you're looking at 1871 that happens, and the population is still going up in Chicago, even when we talk about after that rebuilding. Whew. Anything else we need with this?
Nope.
All right, so let's see what question. Based on this information, let's make a generalization about the change in population of the U.S. So I guess we could say population of the cities is going up, right?
Rural population, although going up, people are moving mostly from farmlands to cities. We know that, like we said, that immigrants are coming over. Most of them immigrants are settling in cities to work in factories.
And of course, this is supporting that. The population is going up in the cities.
Yep.
Information that's not in these documents that we mentioned is the why they're going into cities. We're talking about the abundance of jobs that are available. Factory work is much more reliable and predictable than, say, working in farms. Anything else we have with this?
No.
We can also say, when we're talking about how congested it is and how they're adapting to that congestion.
Right.
Subways, skyscrapers, all these cool things.
New York, man. Let's go Mets.
Yeah.
He just yeah to that.
Okay. Anything else we got here?
No, okay.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.